Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Again, welcome to the second part of the review. Okay, so this is the review for the lab and theory. Okay, now let us see part 2. Part 1 we already finished, now part 2. Part 2 means jump, loop and call instruction, port programming, hardware interfacing and time delay calculation. Okay, so let us see. For this one, for the counter, this is R2 is counter. What is the maximum value you can put here? 255. So this program can be done to repeat 255 times only. If you want to repeat more than 255, this one single loop will not be enough. So the next question we see how to repeat more than 255 times. So what is the question here? Complement the accumulator 700 times. 700 is more than 255. So we need more than one loop. Okay, now very important, double looping. Okay, how to use double looping. So here what we are doing, this one is one loop, right? This is one loop. Again, this is again loop. Then there is another loop here, next loop. This is next loop, right? This is next loop. Again loop is there, next loop is there. So this move a comma hash 55, a got 55. Move r3 comma 10, r3 got 10. These two instructions are outside the loop. Okay, now move r2 70, r2 got 70, r2 got 70. Okay, then CPLA decrement jump on non-zero, R2, R2 is 70. So this process will be repeated 70 times, right? So after repeating 70 times, R2 will become 0, it will come here. Decrement jump on non-zero, R3 next, R3 was 10, now R3 become 9, again it will go here. Again it will go here. Now what is R2? R2 is again 70. So this will be again repeated 70 times. Then R3 will come here. What is R3 now? 8. Okay, R3 is again 8. So this one next again R2 will be loaded with 70. So this will be repeated 70 times, then again 70 times, again 70 times. So this will be 70 multiplied by 10. This loop will be executed 700 times. So let us see the first instruction, move a comma 55. How many times it will be repeated? Only one time, because we are not coming back here, right? Move r3 comma 10. How many times it will be executed? One time. Move r2 comma 70 is based on the value of move r2 comma 70 is the r2 comma 70. The next is based on the value of r3, right? So this next loop will be based on the value of R3. So next loop will be executed 10 times. Okay, this one will be executed 70 multiplied by 10. This will be executed 700 times. So you have to understand this one. This we explained many times. Okay, this is the basic thing for understanding the time delay calculation. Time delay calculation. So the again loop will be executed 700 times. Okay, the next loop will be executed 10 times. Move r3 comma hash 10 will be executed one time, and move a comma hash 55 will be executed one time. Okay, so here I am just explaining how to repeat a program more than 255. Okay, now there are many jump instruction we studied before also. Okay, jump 0 means suppose R0 is 0, then 0 will be coming to A. 0 will be coming to A. So what is A register now? A register is now 0. Jump on 0 over. If A register is 0, 0 flag will be 0 flag will be 1, so it will move here. Okay, now if it is not 0, R1 will come to A. So we are just checking a register is 0 or not by using jump on 0. Okay, now to understand this more clearly, you can see this example. Determine if R5 contains the value 0. If so, put 55 in it. R5 you are moving to A. Okay, jump on non-zero. If for example R5 is 5, so what is here register? 0, 5. Okay, 0, 5. So jump on non-zero, jump on non-zero. Okay, it is jump on non-zero means it is non-zero. So next, so it will do nothing. Now suppose R5 is 0, a register will become 0. Jump on non-zero will not work, right? So 55 will go to R5. Yes or no? Now if R5 is 0, R5 will become 55. If R5 is 3, A is 3. Jump on non-zero next. So it is not 0, so it will go to the next. Okay, so you can check a register is 0 or not using this technique, jump on 0 and jump on non-zero. Okay, now here you can see many instruction, jump on 0, jump on non-zero, decrement jump on non-zero, CJNE, register hash data, jump carry, jump no carry, all these things we explained before, so I'm not going into more details about this one. Okay, now there are two type of jump instruction, conditional jump and unconditional jump. Unconditional jump means you are not checking anything, you are simply jumping. You are simply jumping, that is unconditional jump. So unconditional jump can be again classified into long jump and short jump, but in general everywhere you can use just jump, JMP, no problem. Okay, don't bother much about long jump and short jump, you can ignore, you just understand you can use long jump, short jump or jump. Okay, all are just jumping without checking anything. For example, if you write a program, at the end you can write jump start. Okay, so it will go to the start and again do it one. For example, you want to make a traffic light green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow. So at the end you can ask the program to go start, then again green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, like that it will be repeated. So unconditional jump means without checking anything, the program will be repeated. Okay, now let us see how to calculate the time delay. For time delay calculation, the standard form is same for all the question. The first thing, you have to calculate the machine cycle in microsecond or millisecond. For that, crystal frequency will be given. For example, here crystal frequency is the 11.0592 megahertz crystal frequency. So if the crystal frequency is given, how can you find the machine cycle frequency? Crystal frequency divided by 12. This 12 is constant for 8051 family. So any question you are getting, what you have to do, the crystal frequency divided by 12, you will get the machine cycle frequency. 1 by that will give you the machine cycle period in second. Okay, so 11.0592 by 12. So you got this one, 1 by that is 1.085 microsecond. For example, suppose the crystal frequency is 12 megahertz. Then what you have to do? 12 megahertz by 12. 12 megahertz by 12 is what? 1 megahertz. 1 divided by 1 megahertz, 1 microsecond. Suppose the crystal frequency is 24 megahertz, 24 megahertz by 12, that is equal to 2. 1 divided by 2, okay, 1 divided by 2, 0.5 microsecond. Like that you can calculate. So this 12 is constant. So from the crystal frequency to find the machine cycle frequency, what you have to do? You have to divide by 12 for 8051 family. For 8051 family, it is you have to divide by 12. Okay, that is the thing. Now, for example, you are given, now we calculated the machine cycle frequency in period 1.085 microsecond we got. Now, for example, in the exam, suppose you are getting a question, move R3, hash 55 will take how much time to execute. So for that, you should know how many machine cycles are required to this one. It will be given. How many machine cycle for this one? 1. So 1 multiplied by 1.085 microsecond. Okay, this we calculated before, right? Now, for example, this question, mul AB. For mul AB, how many machine cycles are required? It will be given in the question. Here it is 4 machine cycle. So 4 multiplied by 1.085 microsecond. So like that you can calculate. Okay, you can calculate the time required for completing an instruction. Okay, Now let us see a small program here. Okay, first we can go here, the time delay calculation, Okay, so here, look here, this program move R3 comma hash 200. So this one very important, okay, because we are starting with the one loop. Move R3 comma hash 200. R3 got 200. Decrement jump on non-zero R3 here. This process will be repeated, right? Decrement R3, jump on non-zero R3 means 199. 199 is not 0, again it will go. 198, 197, 196, like that it will go. So how many times this instruction will be executed? This instruction will be executed 200 times. How many times this instruction is executed? One time. How many times returning will be executed? One time. Okay, only this instruction will be in a loop, so it will be executed 200 times. So in the exam, when a program is given, the machine cycle will be given. Move R3 comma hash 200 need one machine cycle. This need two machine cycle. This need two machine cycle. Now the only thing is that for this instruction, DJNZ R3 here need two machine cycle, and how many times it will be repeated? 200 times. So total number of machine cycle in this program will be 200 multiplied by 2 plus this is one time 1 plus this is one time. For one time it need two machine cycle, so 1 plus 2. So it is 403 multiplied by 1.085 microsecond. Okay, 1.085 microsecond. This is machine cycle in microsecond. So you got 436.255 microsecond. Very simple. Now, how can you make the delay maximum here? How can you make the delay maximum here? You can write here the maximum value, right? The maximum number you can write here. What is the maximum number you can put here? It is 255. So what is the maximum delay here? What you have to do, you have to put 255, and this instead of 200 you have to put here 255, then you calculate. Okay, so that is the way to make the maximum delay. Okay, now look here, another example here. Which part of this part of the program will be repeated again and again, right? This part of the program will be executed again and again. Okay, so this is the loop. This is the loop. Clear? This is the loop. Okay, now in the loop, how many machine cycles are there? It is given 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2, 6. 6 machine cycle will be repeated how many times? Here it is 250, right? So 6 multiplied by 250. 6 multiplied by 250. Okay, multiplied by 1.085, so 1627 microsecond. Plus this one how many times? This one only one time, because we are not asking to come again and again, right? So one time, this one time. So how many machine cycle here? One machine cycle here, two machine cycle here. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 machine cycle multiplied by 1.085. So 1630.755. Even if you ignore this one in the calculation, there is no problem. You have to consider only the innermost loop. So this loop you can calculate, and you will get the delay. It's clear? Okay, clarity. Okay, now look here. This one is the innermost loop, here loop. Okay, here loop. Tell me how many times here loop will be executed. Here loop will be this number multiplied by this number, 250 multiplied by 200. For example, if I am writing a 10h and here 11h, 11h will be converted to hexadecimal, it is 17. 10h will be converted to decimal, that is 16. So how many times the here loop will be executed? 11h multiplied by 10h means 17 multiplied by 16, that many times. Okay, again loop will be executed how many times? Again loop will be executed 200 times. So this is the calculation. So 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4. 4 will be 4 machine cycle are required for completing this one time, right? Now how many times this is executed? 250 multiplied by 200. So 4 multiplied by 250 multiplied by 200. That will be the machine cycle required for completing the here loop. Now outside to here there is an again loop. What are the machine cycle there? 1 and here 2. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 multiplied by 200. 3 multiplied by 200. Okay, then you are multiplying with this number, you will get the this one and this one you can add and you will get the total time delay. It's clear? I think now it is clear. Okay. Now the machine cycle frequency will be calculated by dividing the crystal frequency by a certain number. Normally it will be given for 89C51 family. For Intel 8051 it is divided by 12. For other processor it is divided by other number, it will be normally given. So you need not worry about that one. If it is any other processor it will be given. Otherwise you divide the number by 12. Crystal frequency divided by 12 will give you the machine cycle frequency. Okay. Now, okay, 11.0592 megahertz. If it is normally 89C51, what you are doing to find the machine cycle frequency? 12. If it is Philips, what you are doing from the previous table, you can find it that you are dividing it by 6. Okay, so no, you need not worry about this one. The standard thing is 89C51. That is the standard thing. So you can concentrate here. Okay, so that is about the machine cycle frequency. Now let us see some example. Okay, so here move R3 comma hash 200 DJ and Z R3 loop 1 return. Okay, so loop 1 move R3 comma hash 200. So here which one is the loop? This is the loop, right? This is the loop. This loop will be executed how many times? 200 times. How many machine cycles are required for this one? 2. 2 multiplied by 200. Before that you have to do the normal calculation. It is 11.0592 megahertz. Crystal frequency 8051 family. So the machine cycle frequency will be 11.0592 divided by 12. It is 0.921 megahertz. Machine cycle frequency. Machine cycle in microsecond 1 over this one. You got 1.085 microsecond. Okay, number of time DJ and Z R3 loop 1 will be executed is 200 times because this value is 200. Okay, so total number of cycles 200 multiplied by 2 plus 1 plus 2 equal to 403. See here there is a mistake here. It is 200 multiplied by 2. Wherever this circle is coming it is mistake. Okay, so 200 multiplied by 2. Okay, so the total number of cycle you got here 403. Okay, so number of cycles you got 403 multiplied by 1 cycle period. What is 1 cycle period? 1.085 microsecond. So one number of 403 multiplied by 1.085 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6. So this circle is multiplication. This circle is multiplication. When I converted to the video, there is some problem. That is why. Okay, so here multiplication. So it is 0.434 millisecond. So this type of question may come in the exam. First you have to calculate the machine cycle frequency, then machine cycle in microsecond, then how many times a loop is executed, then total number of cycles. Then from that you can calculate the time delay. Here this one you have to put the maximum value. Here you have to put the maximum value. What is the maximum value? 255. So here you are putting 255, here you are putting 255. It will give you the maximum value. So here you will put 255, here you will put 255, here you will put 255, then you calculate, you will get the same, you will get the answer. So the answer will be, delay will be, right? So here you are putting, as I mentioned, 255 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 255. Okay, plus for this one, for this loop, how many are there? 1 plus 2. So 3 multiplied by 200 plus this 3. Okay, so there is a mistake here. This 3 is here, right? Plus 3. So you are getting here 130650 plus 3 cycle. So you got this one multiplied by 1.085 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6 second. That is equal to 0.142 second. Okay, in your lab manual, you can see the same example. These examples are taken from the lab manual. So you can calculate the, okay, from by looking to this one, you can calculate, you will get inshallah a clear idea. Okay, now three loop. When you are making three loops to make the things much simple, okay, consider only the innermost loop because innermost loop will make the maximum delay. So which one is the innermost loop here? Loop 1. How many times it will be executed? 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by count. So if a program is given to find the innermost loop, how many times it is executed? 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by count. So 255 multiplied by 255 multiplied by count, and how many machine cycle for each one? 2. So 255 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 255 multiplied by count. So you got this value. Okay. So what is the time delay? This number multiplied by one cycle period. One cycle period is 1.085 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6. So when you multiply this number with this one, you will get 0.141 multiplied by count. So that is the time delay. Now if you need 10 second, put TD is equal to 10 second, find out the value of count, convert the number to hexadecimal. Okay, if you need 15 second, put TD is equal to 15 second, divide by 0.141, you will get the value of count. Okay, so always you can approximate 3 divided by 0.141 will not be 21, it will be some decimal value will be there, point something. So you can make it to the nearest integer. Okay, so if for example if you are getting 20.7, you can make it 21. If you are getting 20.3, you can make it 20, like that. Okay, so if you want 3-second delay, you have to put the value 21. How I got this one? I put the time delay equal to 3 seconds. Then I calculated using the formula. Okay. Okay. Now another example, an unknown number is stored in a memory location 48. If this number is add to blink all the LED which are connected to the output port 2, and if it is not add to, then blink only one LED. Okay, so we want to check a number in memory location 40 is add to or not. If it is add to, blink all the LED. If it is not add to, blink only one LED. Okay, so first you are making a delay program. You wrote here a delay program, any delay program. Okay, so I put here to make the delay small, I put here small number here 0101. Okay, so the delay will be very small. Okay, so the delay program is written here. Then move a comma 48 from 40, the data is going to a. Then you are comparing with 0 a2. If they are equal, it will come here. What you are doing? FF is going to A, then it is going to P2. So P2 will be now FF. Okay, so to the port FF you send. Call delay means immediately it will go here. Okay, after completing this one, return is there. So after certain delay, it will go here. Okay, now what is XRL AA? Yeah, whatever may be the value of A, now XRL AA. XR operate A with itself will become 0. Move P2 comma A. Now all the port will be 0. Before all the port will be FF, all the port will be 0. Then call delay, again it will go here. Return, after certain delay, it will return means it will go to the instruction coming after call. Okay, so what happened now? All the LED will be on and all the LED will be off. Okay, now if they are not equal, it will go to the last. It will go to the last. Here you are repeating the same thing with one LED. Here you are repeating with the FF 8 LED, right? Here you are repeating with the one LED. Okay, so this one is the delay program. Calling the delay program is also known as calling the subroutine. And the last instruction of a subroutine should be return. When it finds the return instruction, it will return to the instruction coming after call, right? When you call the delay here, what is the instruction coming after call delay? XRL. So after finishing this one, it is going to XRL. Here after calling, what is this one? Short jump back, right? So after this one, it is coming here. So this process will be repeated. Okay, this process will be repeated. Okay, now small example to make the things more simple. Assume that P2 is an input port connected to a switch. P2 is connected to a switch. Write a program to read the switch and test it. LEDs are connected to port 1. LEDs are connected to port 1. Okay. LEDs are connected to port 1. Okay. So LEDs will be normally connected to output port. Switches will be connected to input port. Now P2, the data is coming from P2 to A. So P2 is input port. So what is the question here? If P2 is equal to 0, 1, P2 is equal to 0, 1, what you want to do? You want to send FF. So CJNE, A means the data in port P2. If they are equal, it will not go to last. If they are not equal only, it will go to last. If they are equal, it will come here. What we want to do here? You want to send FF to port P1. So you send FF to A, then from A you send to P1. A you send to P1. Short jump back. Again you are moving here. Okay. Again you are reading the data. Now suppose P2 is less than 0, 1. Suppose P2 is 0, 0. Then you are comparing A 0, 0 with 0, 1. So 0, 0 is less than 0, 1. They are not equal, and whenever the data in A register is less, carry flag will be 1. Carry flag will be 1. So it will go to last year and carry flag is 1 or 0. Since accumulator is less than 0, 1, I assumed 0, 0, it will go to over. So you got 0F here. Again back. Now suppose here it is 0, 9. 0, 9 and 0, 1. You are comparing. So 0, 9 is more, right? 0, 9 is more. So they are not equal. It will go to the last. Okay. Now 0, 9 is more. So carry flag is not 1. Carry flag is 0. So F0 will be going to A register. So this is the program. Again, this program is an important program. This program is an important program. It will give you a clear concept how the program is comparing CJNE. Okay, so CJNE is very simple. It will compare A register with the data. If the register and the data are equal, it will continue. If they are not equal, it will jump. After jumping, again it will check if the carry flag is 0. When the carry flag will be 0, if accumulator is less than the data. If accumulator is more than the data, carry flag will not be 0. Carry flag will not be 1. Sorry, carry flag will not be 1. Okay, so if accumulator is less than data, carry flag will be 1. If accumulator and data are equal, carry flag is 0. If accumulator is greater than data, carry flag will be 0. Okay, now let us see the port programming, input output port programming. Okay, this is the 8051. 4 ports are there, P1, P0, P2, P3, and this is one program. Move A, 55H. 55H is going to A is going to P0. Call delay. As like the previous example, you can write a delay program here. What will be the last instruction of the delay program? Return. So it will come back here. So 55H, it is coming to P0. Then AAH, it is coming to P0. So 55 means what? 55 means 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. AA means the opposite. So first 4 LED will be on, then the other 4 LED will be on with a delay. So this program is so simple, and we explained it before. So I am going to the next one. Okay, this one, reading from port P0 and sending to port P2. Yesterday somebody was asking me how to read data from a port. Okay, so here P0 is an input port. The data is going from P0 to accumulator. From accumulator, the data is going to P2. Then again read, because the input port, the data going to the microprocessor, you can change, right? So here P0 is an input port. P2 is an output port. When you write a move instruction, if something away from the move, it is input port. Whichever closer to move, it is output port. Okay, now the same program, read a data from P0, increase the value by 1, then send to P2. So what you have to do, from P0 you are reading A, then increase A, then from A you move that to P2, repeat the process. Repeat the process. Okay, so short jump back means go to the previous one and repeat the process. Okay. Now add the content of A register with B register. If the result is more than FFH, send FFH to port P2. Otherwise send sum to port P2. So you want to add A and B. How can you check whether the result is more than FF or less than FF? If the result is more than FF, carry flag will be 1. So if carry flag is 1, what we have to send? FF. So if carry flag is 1, next. So FF is going. If carry flag is not 1, what we want to do? Means the result is less than FF, you want to send the sum to P2. You want to send the sum to P2. So move P2 comma A, jump last. So after doing this one, this is unconditional jump, right? Unconditional jump means after this one you are just going to the last. Okay, that means this program, this instruction will not be executed if there is no carry. If there is carry, it will directly go to this one. So move P2 comma A will not be executed. Okay, read the data from the memory location 40h. If it is equal to 05h, send it to R1. Otherwise send FF to port P2. Okay, so it is also very simple. Okay, move A 40h. So you are comparing the data from 40h with 05. If they are not equal, it will go to the next. So what you have to send? If they are not equal, send FF. If they are equal, send the value to R1. Okay, so simple. Okay, so after this one, jump last. Okay, it is going to the last. Okay, read the data from the memory location 40. If it is equal to 05, send it to R1. If it is less than 05, send it to R2. If it is more than 05, send it to R3. This one, similar one we explained before. So you go through this one and try to understand it. Okay, what you have to remember here, if they are equal, it will not go to next. If the data in A register and 05 are not equal, it will go to the next. After reaching next, you can check carry flag is 1. When the carry flag is 1, if the accumulator is less than 05. If accumulator is more than 05, carry flag will be 0. So that is the logic, and based on that, you can double check this. Okay, read the data from the memory location 40. If it is less than 05, send it to R1. Otherwise, send FF to port P2. This is also very similar. Okay, so you can double check this one. Okay, try to understand yourself. Okay, now microcontroller circuit. How to make a microcontroller circuit? Okay, so what is the important point here? There is a pin EA bar. This pin will be always connected to 5 volt because we never studied external memory, how to connect external memory. We are not connecting any external memory, so EA bar should be connected to 5 volt always in all circuit, because in our syllabus there is no external memory interface. EA bar equal to 1, 5 volt means there is no external memory. Then there is a reset circuit. Reset circuit means a resistor and a capacitor. Manual reset means a push button switch is connected across the capacitor. A push button switch is connected across the capacitor. Okay, so what is a reset circuit? You need here a 1 for little time. Okay, for fraction of a microsecond. So when 1 is coming here, the microcontroller will be reset. Okay, when 1 is not there, the microcontroller is ready to work and the crystal is connected here. Now the important thing is that an LED can be connected in sync mode or LED can be connected in source mode. LED in sync mode means the cathode of the LED is connected to the microcontroller and the anode is connected to 5 volt. LED in source mode means opposite. The anode will be connected to the microcontroller and the cathode will be connected to the ground. So this one is sync mode. This is sync mode. This is sync mode. If you are connecting the LED in the opposite way and instead of 5 volt you are grounding, it is source mode. Now sync mode means if you give here 0, LED will be on. Source mode means if you give here 1, LED will be on. So this is sync mode. So how can you make it on? You have to give here 0. Okay. Now the switches you connected to the power supply through a pull-up resistor. So when the switch is on, you are short circuiting. So on means 0, off means 1. Off means 5 volt is directly going to the microcontroller. Okay, when you connected here ground, nothing is going here, you are short circuiting. You are short circuiting. Okay, so that is the thing. So here, when the resistor is connected to the 5 volt supply, it is known as pull-up resistor. Pull-up resistor. Okay, so this is pull-up resistor. Here, this is LED connected in sync mode. The other name of LED connection is source mode. Other name of switch connection is pull down resistor. In that case, the resistor will be connected to the ground. Okay, that you can see in your previous example posted in the blackboard. Okay, now the entire 8-bit, how can you make 55 and AA in different form? Okay, we explained this before, so you just go through this example and understand it. Okay, now this is for 1 bit. Okay, for 1 bit CPL P1.2. So 1 bit will be on and off here. Okay, this means 1 bit will be on and off. This means 1 bit will be on and off. Okay, here instead of absolute call delay, you can just write call delay. Call delay means you are calling the subroutine. Okay, so you can write a delay program here, you can call. Okay, so the same thing here written in another way. Instead of absolute call, you can call here call delay, you can call delay. Okay, so this is another way of writing the program. P1.2, 1 and 0. One port 1, bit number 2 will be 1 and 0. 1, then certain delay, then 0. Okay. So this is single bit. This we explained many times. So I am skipping it. Okay. This is move instruction from port. Okay. And jump no bit, jump bit, etc. This also we explained before. Okay. Okay. This one, write a program to perform the following. Keep monitoring the P1.2 bit until it becomes high. So what is happening here? What is happening here? Even this one you can ignore. This one not required. Okay. A is 45H. A is 45H. Okay. Now what is the question here? Keep monitoring P1.2. If P1.2 is 0, what it is asking? It is just repeating here. If P1.2 is 0, it will just repeat here, right? Now if P1.2 is 1, if P1.2 is 1, it will not go to again. J and B is wrong then, right? So it will come again. It will not go to again, it will come here down, right? So move P0, A. What is it in A? 45. 45 will go to P0. Set bit P2.3, clear P2.3. You got a pulse. P2.3, 1, you got up, then clear P2.3, suddenly P2.3 is 0. So you got a pulse. You got a pulse. Okay. So here keep monitoring P1.2. If P1.2 is 1, then move 45 to P0 and send a pulse. If P1.2 is 0, just checking. When it is 1, move 45 to P0 and give a pulse. Okay. Now assume the bit P2 input and represent the condition of an oven. If it goes high, it means the oven is on. Okay. So the same program written in another form, another way. Another question here, it is not mentioned P0 should be some value. So it is very similar to the previous one. So I'm not explaining. You can go through that. Okay. This one, the bit P, you are moving to C because you cannot use this instruction. This instruction is not valid. Move single bit you cannot move. P 1.0 you cannot move to P 2.7. You can write move P2, P1 is valid, but a single bit it is not valid. So what you are doing, P 1.0 you are moving to carry flag, then from carry flag you are moving to P 2.7.